আপনারা দেখছেন Iilfl Soccer Night.
We are back on the Iilfl Soccer Night show talking about yesterday's Unity Cup tournament, and we've kicked off with the Super Cup, and now it's time to look at the legends who turned up to try and show the younger generation how to do their thing. Here are the results from Group A's fixtures. 4 teams in each group. You can see the 4 teams in Group A were Beaumont, Sylhet, MK Galacticos and London Tigers. There was expectation all around, but as you can see there, London Tigers were easily the pick of the bunch out there, not losing a game, 2 wins and a draw. MK Galacticos, I thought, might have gone through based on, their first result, beating Beaumont Masters impressively, but it wasn't enough because London Tigers and Sylhet are the 2 teams to go through from Group A. In Group B, we could see the 4 teams were Stepney Legends, Weavers, Birmingham and Tower Hamlets. If your team's there, you can see how you did. And the results, the Stepney Legends, a high expectation. Again, another team, despite losing by 3 goals to 1, they went through by the skin of their teeth on the 4 points. If we look at the 2 groups there, we can see it's Birmingham that joined them in Group B. Well done to Birmingham, who travelled the furthest, it has to be said, and have got the rewards. Hasnat, Legends Football, Tigers, Sylhet, Birmingham and Stepney, 4 good teams?
Yeah, by far that's going to be, if anything, I'm probably looking forward to that more than the Super Cup. Yeah. I think when we were setting up, because a lot of us were down there nice and early to get everything set up, when we saw that Tigers team coming out of the change room, I was just telling Nurul, my jaws dropped because I couldn't believe the players that are coming out. Good old Harry Khan stepping out of there, Sham was there as well. So yeah, it's that. Anyway, that was the early days, and it's all out of the way now. That quartet looks very good. With respect to Stepney, who are a very colourful team in our league, but they got themselves through, and I think they should probably go into this as underdogs. But in these cup tournaments, that's what it's like. Being the underdogs is what gets you through sometimes.
Indeed. Beaumont not winning a game at all.
Once you lose the first game, I think, well, the second game we gave it all, but unfortunately Sylhet played real well, and credit to them. I think out of the 4, for me, I think Sylhet look good.
They're a good team. Yeah.
For vets, they're quite fast, and I think they'll be a surprise in the semi-final.
But Tigers have come to hold on to what's theirs. Would you say rightfully so, Nurul?
We Tigers, we like cup competitions, as you probably know by now. We like cup competitions. Just a little mention out to Idris, one of our central halves. His sister-in-law passed away in the first game after 10 minutes. All the best wishes, Idris. Right? And from there on, we thought it's not going to be our day. We had to lose 4 players. And it's like with everybody else, on the 3rd game came around, everybody was struggling. A lot of cramps coming along. The one that I like to mention is Birmingham Vets and Stepney game, the last game. I couldn't believe it, what I was seeing. Everybody on the sidelines was laughing their head off, and the player on the goalkeeper who actually, the ball wasn't even travelling, but the ball somehow ended up in the back of the net because the goalkeeper had a cramp and he actually fell on the ball and was trying to catch it, and he couldn't. And that goalkeeper is a big guy, and he travelled all the way from Oldham. Yeah. Oldham with Joel and Gilla, and I thought to myself, that didn't happen. Even his manager was laughing and was on the stitches on the floor, thinking that cannot happen. Right?
How much of the Vets football did you see yesterday, Noel?
I saw every single game.
So who's impressing you then? Obviously Tigers are there. We spoke about Sylhet, Birmingham and Stepney. What did you make of that group?
Honest opinion, wasn't impressed with either team. And I'm not going to be a big head or nothing, but we Tigers don't expect anything, but I'll be very surprised if we don't retain our title again this year.
Good. Fighting talk, isn't it indeed, Rush?
Yeah, I think so. I think what it is I think the teams are looking forward to London Tigers. I don't think they played the best football yesterday. I think there's more to come. But saying that, I think once in the semi-final, you know you're one step away from the final. I think Sylhet for me, will push them. And they were runners-up actually last season against Ham, so they got obviously a revenge to settle. And obviously, I think they play in the other group, so there's a chance they might meet them in the final again. So it'll be interesting to see what happens.
So we've heard that Stepney might be underdogs, but I think Stepney, maybe to their credit a little bit, they were struggling for players yesterday. I mean, just about put together an 11 for their first game. So now that they've made it, Shaq, do you think now they'll be a little bit more prepared and come with a stronger side?
I saw a bit of Stepney. They play with a smile on their face, which is a joy to see. Most of the team, they were really competitive. They really wanted to win, which is great. But to have the smile on every single player and Stepney players, it was quite refreshing. And I think next week will be a different team, I reckon.
Semi-finals to come next week in the Vets. Who's your money on? Is it going to be Tigers, Select, Birmingham or Stepney? Who can decide? We don't know. The games are going to be played next week. Same venue, same place at the Marshes. We've got semi-finals right the way through there. They are on the screen for you. Tower Hamlets take on Bengals. Tigers v E7 is a mouth-watering game and a bit of a throwback to how things were a couple of seasons ago. In the semi-finals, you've got Tigers Vets v Stepney and Birmingham versus Select. Is it going to be as predicted? Tigers going up against Select slash Bondu again, or is there going to be a little bit of an upset? It's all happening next week. If we had a live show, it would start at 12 o'clock as it shows down there. The games will kick off a little bit later. We'll talk more about it next Monday on the Iilfl Soccer Night show. Now, let's turn our attention to last Thursday, and we still have the Vets football happening each and every Thursday. The games are running out for teams now. Things are beginning to form. Let's see what happened in the Premier Division. Here are the results from the Premier Division games last week. Beaumont Masters, the early season form now has deserted them, and it looks like they're in free fall. London Tigers smashing them by 5-1. Bromley, by the skin of their teeth, putting a goal past St Catherine's. St Catherine's, just as hard as they try, just can't get points on the board. And Sire, who looked like catching anybody that slips up above them, went about their business and beat Tower Hamlets Vets by 2-0. Look at the table now. Bromley have a game in hand over Tigers, and I heard it said that if Tigers win all their games, they're winning the division. Not quite yet, because we have that game between Tigers and Bromley to come, and Sire waiting in the wings for any slip-up. Rash, I'm coming to you first. It doesn't seem like that long ago we were looking at Beaumont sitting top of the table, and now 7 points adrift.
Well, yeah, bad week for Beaumont. I think when we played Tigers...
Bad week or weeks?
Well, I'm talking about the whole Sunday and Thursday and a few weeks with Masters, obviously. With the Tigers, I think they deserve that win. I think 5-1 was a respectable score, considering they could have scored much more. That team was the best team I've seen in the last 2 years, let alone this season. If they can bring the same team for the next few Thursdays, I think it's going to be in their hand.
Are we saying then the fact that they have brought that team shows that they now know that I think they mean business, and they
once they got to the top, they know the intention. They say, look, we win our games, it's in our hands, so let's just go guns blazing and get the best team as possible and maintain the top spot. But saying that, I think likes of Sire, likes of Abahani, even St Catherine's has still got a role to play, because in this Premiership division, anyone can be anyone on the day.
It's still very, very tight. You were going to say
I was just going to say, Beaumont and Tigers, we go back a long way. They destroyed our Indian League's title hopes. Yeah. When Mesbah phoned me on Sunday and said, no, I need to get a squad, I said, Mesbah, what you do is, only team that's going to destroy our season again is Beaumont, because we don't know what they will bring. Sometimes they will bring the best, sometimes they're not, but they're the team that normally beats us and puts a dent on it. For the last 2 years, we've been losing the title by the odd, silly game.
And you blame Beaumont for that one?
We blame Beaumont for every single one of them.
So Beaumont, they suffered the backlash.
I managed to sign a quality player on Monday just for that Beaumont game. And I said to Mez, these are the players I want you to use on this Thursday. I don't care who's crying or who's not moaning or who's not whinging. And Mez stick to his gun, and he used those players, and that's why, as Rashid probably said, couldn't believe that team that came out.
I like the fact that the Tigers take the tournament so seriously, and
Well, they have to, because they haven't won the Vets League yet. So
yeah,
for me,
that's what I'm saying. You know, I
yeah,
like the fact that they're out there and they're out. You know what? We're going to put it right.
they win the
year.
cups, but league they still haven't won. So for me, this is the must-win league for them.
What basically happens with the Tigers is like the year before and the year before that as well, and even this year. For some reason, if me and Mesbah, we have to disappear out of the country. As soon as me and Mesbah disappears, there's nobody, as you said about management.
Yeah.
If there's no management, then it just goes downhill. We leave it to our guys. We lost 2 silly games, right? While me and Mesbah was out of the country. But when you come back, it's back to normality. But we just need to pinpoint that to prove that we are the champions and we deserve to be the champions.
But I don't think it's over yet. I think there's still,
There's
a
still
lot of twists to go.
a lot of twists
And
going to be in the
Bromley will
football,
try
yeah?
and spoil the party.
Yeah, there's still going to be a lot of twists and there's going to be there, but yeah.
Bromley can still spoil the party, but before I talk about them, let's talk about the First Division and parties being spoiled. Maybe not just yet, but it's interesting. The First Division results went like this. The one at the top there, FC Redbridge, getting a 0-0 draw against Stepney Legends. I remember seeing that in the feed, somebody asking if that was a typo or if that was a mistake, but no, it was the result on the day. FC Bondu doing what they do best, smashing 5 goals past the B-side of Tower Hamlets Vets, and Mostyn, another draw for them, 0-0, makes the table look like this. Is it in Stepney's hand? They are the team that needs to win all their games, and they really do need to win all their games, because if they don't, and Bondu could be the team that ends up with the First Division title. Hasnat, just very quickly, it isn't the foregone conclusion that we thought it was going to be for Stepney.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. It's not. Bottom team Redbridge got their first point of the season, and it's against Stepney. So it's not a foregone conclusion, and Bondu are coming stronger and stronger.
They are.
I mean, we were just looking at the middle. Mostyn, you know, they came into this tournament thinking they're going to be the whipping boys, but they're also shocking teams, and they didn't. I mean, they certainly got a result there. So yeah, I mean, it's still open. It's still open there.
It is still open, and this Thursday we'll just show you the fixtures for this Thursday in the First Division. Mostyn are the team that go to Stepney Legends, and I know that Mostyn feel that they didn't do themselves quite enough justice in the first game against Stepney. We're looking for a positive result there. FC Redbridge, they now go to Riverside to see if they can convert their well-earned point last week into 3 points. And Weavers and Tower Hamlets Vets take each other on there. In the Prem Division, Bromley need to win all of their games. So Abahani are the hurdle this Thursday, and Sire are the hurdle for Tigers. Another massive hurdle for Tigers as well. I mean, if they can win that, then it really does put the pressure on Bromley. And Beaumont need to get themselves back to winning ways. Shall I put the jinx on them and say St Catherine's are struggling for victories, struggling for points? Beaumont should be able to turn them over. There it is, jinx cast for everybody on Thursday, it seems. Shaq, I left you to the last just to talk very quickly about Bromley. It's been a good season for Bromley so far. Can they hang on to the form that they're showing?
We can try and chase Tigers. The game in hand is very important, and if we can win that, then I think we've got a little sniff.
Bromley against London Tigers in a head-to-head. Doesn't look good. Didn't look great in the cup.
No, we always give them a game. It's always a good, tough game, but you know, we'll see on the day.
We will see, indeed. We've got the final part of the show to come. We're gonna recap everything that we've just seen in the first and second segment of the show, and we're going to talk about things to come still for the Inner London Football League. Competitions, tournaments and leagues. It's all coming up on the Iilfl Soccer Show Part 3. See you soon.
আপনারা দেখছেন ILFL Soccer Night।